a special edition and a bonus episode of Kpop Rambles with Rachel, which is my series where I have a conversation with y'all about my interest in K-pop in a podcast-like format. In today's special episode, I'm uploading this one on the 1-year anniversary of Boynextdoor's debut. Woo! And this is probably the earliest I've gotten into a group in a very long time. The fact that I made it before their 1 year is like, whoa. So, anyways, I wanted to dedicate an episode to them, and what better day than today? So I do have a few more disclaimers. I am filming this in a different way than I normally film my K-pop Rambles with Rachel episodes. I'm hoping this way that like the sound is more stable and maybe not break your eardrums, because like I said, y'all, sound and everything with my microphone setup is just, she's complicated. One day I'll like dedicate some time to like actually figure that out. So I'm hoping this is better, question mark. Let me know if that is the case, or if you guys prefer the other way. I'm totally fine either way. But anyways, also want to apologize in advance because some of you who may have hear this repeatedly about how I got into Boynextdoor, so on and so forth. But I do promise to keep that contained in the future. So this episode will be the perfect place to lump everything from start to end. But anyways, on with the show. So, how did I get into Boynextdoor? Well, I actually reluctantly got into Boynextdoor at first because I was scrolling on TikTok, as one does, and I kept seeing content and clips of Jaehyun, specifically with Hanbin from Zero Base One and Sohee from Rise, as they are currently MCs for M Countdown. And I was just like, oh no, Rachel, he's so cute and precious. Oh no. And I already am familiar with Hanbin because he's my bias wrecker for ZB1. And then Sohee, obviously I know from Rise. Then I was just like, oh no, I'm seeing cute clips of Jaehyun. This is not good. No. So I told myself, like, no, it's not the time to get into another group right now. There's already too many. And I knew as soon as I said that, I already knew it was game over. Because eventually, I will more than likely get into that group. There are some groups that this has, made the exception where it's not my vibe. But this one I had a feeling. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure this is going to be like one of the ones I like deep dive into. So, I believe I managed to fight off getting into them for like maybe a few weeks. I honestly don't know what time is. So for consistency purposes, let's just say it was like a few weeks. Because I don't think it reached up to a few months. Like I said, I could be wrong. But for consistency's sake, I kept seeing more and more content of Boynextdoor within those few weeks. And one of them specifically was an interview. I forget which magazine it was for. I think it was for a magazine. And they had like emoji pickets. And so this person uploaded like a long clip of that specific interview on TikTok. And I don't know why. I sat there and watched like the entire thing and was like, okay, I'm going to try and save this for later because I'm like, I think based on this video alone, I have an idea who my bias line will be. And so I wanted to keep track and see if I can tell if I was right. Spoiler though, I was right. And when I know. Reference to a previous episode that unfortunately I don't remember which episode that was. I want to say it was episode 3 or 4. The If You Know bias edition. Anyways, I kept scrolling. And then eventually I saw clips of Jaehyun singing his own composed rap for his cover of Le Seraphim's song Smart. And I was like, oh no, this is so good. This is so good. And every time I saw that clip, like multiple times in my feed, I can't skip. He sounds so heavenly. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you. It's just a wonderful masterpiece. Like, it was so good. And I was just like, oh my gosh. If that wasn't enough an attempt for me to get into Boynextdoor, I don't know what it was going to be. And then I was just like, no, I can't do it yet. But then after that, I saw several clips specifically of Lee Han and Sungho covering Love is an Open Door from Frozen, which, another disclaimer, not that anyone needs to know, but I'm going to say it anyways. I don't like that movie. But anyways, that's besides the point. So when I heard their heavenly voices as well on that cover, I'm like, this is the one and only, no pun intended, exception. because it was just so beautiful. I was just like, okay, like no, there's no way. I have to get into them. I have to, right? And so I was wondering if this was going to solidify who was going to be part of my bias line. I couldn't tell just yet. Um, Also, I'm reading my script, and so if I go off script and I have to pause, that's why. But, oh yes, because I was trying to figure out, so they're called Boynextdoor, and their fandom name is called One Door. And for some reason, you're gonna laugh at me. For some reason, it did not click into my head until way, way later, like probably an astronomical amount later, that I realized that Love is an Open Door is literally genius because, duh, like their group name, the fandom name. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, wow, Rachel, you're really slow, aren't you? But that's not a shocker there because honestly, like Lehan, he can be a bit slow sometimes. Referencing the Jaehyun episode, not Jaehyun, Jaejung episode where he didn't catch on to the joke until like way, way later. And I'm like, yep, that's why you're my bias wrecker. That's why. So at that specific point, I still did not commit yet. But I was like, okay, this is more signs that I should get into them, right? So I remember that a friend of mine, hi bestie, had a PC template for Ryu, and I was like, hey, bestie, do you think I should get into Boynextdoor? And he said, yes, you should. And, what's the word? And then we talked about more things I don't remember. But I was like, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe I will. Maybe I should. Pretty much was saying like the songs are like really refreshing. They were like really good. Like they're like bops. Like you totally would enjoy it. I'm like, okay. Good to know. So eventually after that, I decided to just jump in and I listened to Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I've specifically watched their performance for it, I think for their the showcase or something of that nature. And I was taken aback, specifically at the certain part where it sounds like it's sped up, but it's actually live. Like, I don't think y'all understand, like actually live vocals. And I was like, wait, you're kidding me right now. Like that was like not sped up. Like you guys are singing that like live and like at the tone, I'm sorry, the volume. At the tone that you're saying it, like wait a damn minute, what? And so I was seriously taken back to second generation K-pop. I was like, whoa. Yeah, no, we're locked in. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like I have to. Like this song is so good, first of all the previous things I talked about, like, there's no way I'm not, like, I'm locked in. We're going all out for this. There's no way. So I think it was at this point I was trying to figure out who my bias line was going to be. So, like I said before, I started watching some other interview content because how I personally like to figure out who's who is that I like to see everyone's personalities. And what I've noticed that for other, like, 5th gen groups, for example, since those are, like, the ones I've gotten into more lately than not, I kind of start with the Hello 82 Question Parade interviews if they have that, and then Spotify content. And so this was all before I dived into their variety content on their channel because, like, for me, I have to, like, really commit if I want to watch their variety content. And it's harder for me to, like, understand who's who with the variety content if I don't watch something, like, that's more, like, easy to digest, if that makes sense, first. So did that, and then I also saw that my bias line were on Jaejung's show where he has idols come on, makes them a meal, has a conversation with them, and so all that stuff. But then I was just thinking when I confirmed my bias line, which I did not clarify in the beginning, but I'm going to clarify right now in case anyone was not concerned. What am I saying? If anyone was wondering. It consists of Jaehyun, Lehan, and Taesun. So, as I've also previously mentioned before, but like I said, if you're new here, Jaejung was actually one of my first ever biases in K-pop, so I had to watch, and that episode also further solidified my bias line, and I love all of them so dearly. They are all so great. They're one of the only groups that I can recall off the top of my head that buying their albums, I would legitimately be happy to pull any member And then bias line just makes it much better. Like, I rarely can ever say that because I think I mentioned it before as well, but like, when you buy an album, you hope to get your bias. And sometimes, if not most of the time, I can get like a little bit sad if I don't put my bias. I'm like, well, uh, it's not a bad thing because I'm like, I love all members of groups. It doesn't matter the group I'm into. I always love all the members. But when I don't pull my bias, I'm just like, I'm sad. So for Boynextdoor, I can like wholeheartedly say like I can pull any member and be like, wow, this is great. I love it. I love it so much. Um, so um, a few other things that especially stood out to me during that episode was just that everyone was just so cute together and they were all learning. Like, I learned so much from that episode. Like, for example, how long Taesun is trained for before debuting. So hardworking, never gave up. And there was a moment in particular I'll never forget. As I mentioned before, being like how I was like so slow to realizing love is an open door is literally perfect for Boy Next Door. Is how Lehan did not understand the joke that Jaejung was trying to get across in that episode. So it took Lehan a good few tries to understand the joke. But even after he realized the joke, he still went on with his joke that he initially started. And I was just like, yep, that's my bias record there for you because he's literally me. Like, how could I not love that boy? I love him so much because he was committed. It was like, you know what? Nope, this is the joke and I'm going to go with it. I'm like, you know what? Proud of you. I would do the same thing. And then Jaehyun was just so sincere, and his reactions in particular are so precious to me. He cares so, so much. He's wholeheartedly himself, and it just made me love him even more. And I was like, you know what? No matter how much Lehan fights me for number one, Jaehyun is just like, he fights harder. So, from there, I really got a sense of like, wow, these boys are literally bringing me back to second gen vibes. And I like most definitely do not say that lightly because they are truly just a breath of fresh air. They bring me so much nostalgia in the best way possible. They're having fun. They sing live. They fully enjoy what they do. You can tell that in everything that they do, no matter how big, no matter how small. And it fills my heart with so much joy. So, from this point on, I don't remember which came first, but I think I remembered seeing more clips of Boynextdoor's showcase for Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I watched some more silly content from them doing like the Whisper Challenge and things of that nature, and I saw Lehan's face light up when one of the words was Corridorus. I think I'm saying that correctly. Apologies if I mispronounced it. And was like, wait a minute, wait, I need more backstory on this. And was like, okay, I want to understand why his face lit up so cutely. Like, wait, I want to know. I want to learn. And so that's when I decided to watch their variety content and was trying to figure out which came first. So luckily, I did start in the right order, which, if on the top of my head is correct, there's, why am I forgetting what they're called? I will try and edit it in post so that way you guys can, if you guys are curious as well as the order I watched, I will edit it here because I don't want to like mess it up and be like, wait a minute. Because I watched it in a specific order, which I preferred more so. So, what's the word? Anyways, watch the content and like was just like, wow. It just made me realize like how much further like I love Lehan. Like the amount of times that I scream about Lehan, you honestly would think he's my bias. But as I said before, Jaehyun continues to steal my heart. He is probably alongside another like alt 5th gen bias for me, which is another wild thing for me to say. I honestly didn't think I would make it this far to be able to like experience all these generations and still be in this, and if anything have been rejuvenated and like, wow, like this is amazing, this is great, like there's so much more content to enjoy and to experience and to be a part of. I'm just like, wow, just wow. Okay, now this is the part where I lost wind, no pun intended, in how I wanted to continue this video and letter, because when I first wrote the initial letter, I was in a very specific phase of being really excited for Boynextdoor. And of course, I still am. but I think I have it down now. So I figured this portion can be talking about each and every member for a little bit and then have the official closing. So I'm going to go in age order versus like leader first and then age order just for like consistency purposes. So starting with our Yeppy, Sungho, he just brings such a specific aura to the group that I do not know how to describe it in words. He literally reminds me so much of a specific second gen boy group in the best way possible. He's so balanced, he's so calm, so elegant, yet also so adorable. He's literally our Yeppy for a reason. I love him so much. I love all of them so much, just to preface though. Ryu, our introverted king. I relate to Ryu in several ways. He's introverted, but he's also just so ways knows how to light up a room with his jokes and with his laughter. I just truly also enjoy how happy he is when he eats desserts and or just food in general. He deserves all the good things to eat and enjoy and just all of his things. I adore that boy so, so much. Oh my gosh. Jaehyun, my sunshine. He is always so confident, but also so humble at the same time. He cares so, 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 so much. And you can see it in literally everything that he does. He truly shines so brightly, but he also ensures that others around him, especially the members, shine even brighter, to which you all shine the brightest in my eyes. And Jaehyun is my bias for a reason, especially as I've noticed more often than not, my biases tend to be extroverted. And I don't know why it took me so long to realize that, but I think it's a nice balance to my introvertedness. So, he truly brings so much light into my life, and I could not thank Jaehyun even more for it. So, Taesan, he's so creative, so kind, so thoughtful, so hardworking. He has come so far, and I'm so excited to see how far he will go in every aspect of his career and what he wants to pursue and endeavors and all these things. I also adore his smile so, so much. And he is truly a part of my bias line for a reason. But that's for a different day. Then Leehan, my sparkly-eyed, fishy-loving prince. I hope that he never, ever changes. I love Leehan so much, y'all. He is my bias wrecker for a reason. The amount of times I scream about Leehan, you'd think that he's my bias. But he is just, oh my gosh. He is just unapologetically himself in every way possible. I adore him beyond belief. He's so charismatic, so caring, so thoughtful, so funny, just everything and more. I hope that he is always happy and healthy. Just, thank you to Leehan. He's just a huge surge of happiness into my life. Love that boy. And then, of course, we have Wonhak, the maknae. The moment that I saw that, really touched my heart the most was when I was watching Fun Next Door, and when their family surprised them with messages for them, you could just see how he loves what he does. He loves everyone so much. He's also just having fun and living his life, but also works so hard. He's so mature for his age, and it's just so fascinating and so amazing to see how far he's gonna go, because he is just something different. I don't know how to explain it, but he works so hard and is so bright, and just I know he's gonna make it so far. I know all of them will. But so yeah, that was my little spiel for each of the members, and then from here we will go on to my closing. And honestly, these boys came to me like a whirlwind, literally earth, wind, and fire. They ground me, but they also give me so much energy. They honestly hit me like a truck with the feels. I literally love each and every member so, so much. They are just so full of life, and it brings me so much joy. And in one of the episodes of What Next Door, I got pretty emotional at the end, to be quite honest. And they're just saying a door that it's always open, and as that saying goes, when one door closes, another opens. Well, this specific door opened a whole new world for me, and I don't know how to describe it, but this feeling that I have for Boynextdoor, they really brought me back to life in a way I didn't know that I needed, because I personally had a new opportunity arise for me, and they really said, we're here to support you, and I'm here to support them. And honestly, just like how I wanted to kind of end this episode, as Jaehyun said, there will be no commas in our days to come as Boynextdoor. And honestly, there will be no commas in my days to continue to support Boynextdoor, because they are just truly angels. Like I said before, I'll say it again. They just enjoy what they do. And I am so happy to see them do that, because it inspires me to do and enjoy what I want to do in all aspects of life, not just with work, but also with relaxing and enjoying things and just even mundane things. And I just, wow, it's really, truly inspiring. And yes, so with that, that was my kind of letter to Boynextdoor. Happy 1 year anniversary to them. I'm so excited to have become a fan. I can't wait to see how much they continue to grow and, you know, explore all the things that life has to offer along with them, all these things. But yeah, other than that, that was it for today's episode. So, all the YouTuber things, like, comment, subscribe if you like my content. I do appreciate it. With that, that was the end of today's video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye!